Namaste from Dhananjaya Kumar and welcome to our journey approaching great minds. Those who have conveyed deep messages, deep teachings and deep concepts through few precious words. So in this video, we will approach the topic of government. Government is what affects our life directly on a daily basis. So it would be good to understand a few deep implications and complications of that. So there are a couple of proverbs. First one is, we do not need more government. We do not need more government. We need more culture. So in one word, culture is what we need, and what it means to us is culture means civil behavior, element of honesty, justice, politeness, deeper understanding, and our involvement in cultural activities, maybe music, arts, painting. So all these are various dimensions of culture. So for cultured human beings, for cultured societies, we need less government, because more government is needed when society as a whole or many people there are low in culture. Their behavior, their thinking, their actions require more discipline, more organization, and more rules and regulations and laws, and all that is required. So the proverb is that we do not need more government, we need more culture, because with more culture, the need for more government is definitely reduced. This one is very interesting. The most vexing part of every government is that the people who are smart enough to run it are also smart enough to stay away from it. That is kind of dilemma, that in many places the government's role is so procedural, so much about disciplining people, so much about controlling, about giving directions, lots of rules and regulations. So intelligent and cultured people are smart enough to stay away from it, mainly because in most instances, in most places, people running the government are not smart enough. So I'll read it again. The most vexing part of every government is that the people who are smart enough to run it are also smart enough to stay away from it. This one is by Abraham Lincoln. And Abraham Lincoln says, no man is good enough to govern another man. No man is good enough to govern another man without the other's consent. In other words, if there is a need for governance in a society, people have to agree to be governed. Because if people are of a different kind, they don't want to be governed, and then you impose governance, they will be not following the rules, they will develop their own way of living, which may be contrary to social interest, to harmony in society. So people's consent is required for government. No man is good enough to govern another man without others' consent. And what happens when government is imposed or certain rules and regulations are imposed which are contrary to what people want to follow? There a very sensitive kind of governance and management would be needed. And the last one is by Joseph de Maistre. Every country has the government it deserves. That's very heavy weight. Every country has the government it deserves. Here the assumptions is that the governments are elected through democratic process. And one of the essential principles in democracy is that the people will elect the representatives. Now, depending on the level of education, level of understanding, level of culture, level of discipline and social responsibility, all that, one hand. On the other hand, the education, qualification, capability and commitment to social service of the people who are elected. So, if the people elect according to their choices, and people who are electing, who are voting, do not have the understanding of what is required to be a responsible person who is voting. So voting is a very important responsibility. One has to be prepared, knowledgeable, seek knowledge, know about the candidates they are voting for. That's important. So certain kind of people will vote for more able candidates. Certain kind of people will not be able to choose the most able candidates. So this is the sort of summary of what the election process involves. And Joseph de Maistre says, every country has the government it deserves. So if the government is not functioning well, people are responsible, which means they did not elect the right people. If the government is functioning extremely well, which means the people have made right choices. So people deserve what they get in the form of government.